Okay, so good evening, everyone. It's always a pleasure to speak here in this community and speak in English. Usually I don't speak in English so much, so this is a challenge for me, but Bezrat Hashem will do that. And first of all, for the Hatzlacha and the success of Baal Habayit, which I don't know who is, but and Bezrat Hashem, HaKadosh Baruch Hu should give you a lot of bracha ve'atzlacha. And to all of us, I was asked to speak today about a topic that I think it's a very, very important one. Something that we all have every day. Some people have it every hour. Some people have it every minute. The topic is called anger. And anger is something that we all have. I don't know even one person in the world that can come and stand and say, listen, I'm not angry at all. Never in my life I got angry. If there is someone like that, listen, this guy is special. I never met one like this. But we all want to stay away from it. Inside, we want to stay away from it. The problem of the people in the world is that we don't know how to do that. There's a lot of things that we have inside ourselves and we don't have control. The question is, how can we control ourselves? And this is where the Torah comes in and teaches us how to, basically the autonomy of the soul, how we can play with this, how we can change it. So I'll speak today less about how anger is bad, because we all know it's bad. I'm going to speak just a little bit how bad is it, and then most of the lecture I'm going to talk how we improve it, how we stay away from it, and we'll see that we'll speak a lot of we'll speak a little bit about Kabbalah, because the high spiritual rabbis, which is Kabbalists, they usually very into this learning, because Rabbi Chaim Vital, one of the great Kabbalists in the old generations, 500 years ago, he wrote in his book that you can't reach any level in your life, spiritual and physical, if you have anger. Spiritual means you can't reach high levels as knowing the future, be close to HaKadosh Baruch Hu, being a good person, having Ruach HaKodesh, and so on. And physical, you can't be a blessed person, have money. I mean blessed money. Have a family. I mean blessed family, happy family, if you have anger. So if we want to reach something in our life, we have to avoid this thing. We have to stay away from this thing. This is what Rabbi Chaim Vital says. And this is what his rabbi, Rabbeinu Arizal, said to him, that if you're going to have even a little bit of anger, you can't reach the levels you want to reach. So, first of all, we have to understand that being angry is, and I'm not exaggerating, is the biggest sin in the Torah. Being angry is the biggest sin in the Torah. And why am I saying that? Because it's written. And more than that, being angry, making you do other sins. Usually when someone is angry, he doesn't control what he's doing. After being angry, he's doing other things. He can drop off all his faith, all what he believes in, his family, everything, because of a minute of an anger. So we know that this is a problem. We have to know how to fight it. There was one rabbi that he had a house, and in his house, on every wall, there was a sentence written. In one wall, there was a sentence that says, "Kol hako'es ke'ilu oved avodah zara." It's said in the Talmud. Someone that is angry, he's like an idol worshipper. We know that to do idol worship, you lived in that place, right? People doing idol worshipping in India. This is the biggest sin in the Torah. It means there's no Hashem, there's Chaz v'Shalom Buddha or something else. So the Gemara describes and say to be angry is the same as being an idol worshipper. Wow. This is one. So he was writing it in his one wall. Kol hako'es ki'ilu oved avodah zara. Anyone that is angry is like an idol worshiper. In the other wall, he was writing another sentence that said in the Torah, in the Chachamim, Kol hako'es kol minei gehenom sholtim bo. Someone that is angry, all the powers of hell is controlling him in that second, in that moment. Like he's in hell now, he's in Gehenom. In another place, in another wall, he was writing, Kol hako'es nishmato mistaleket mimeno. Every person that is angry, his neshama going out of him. So this is how he lived. All those sentences is written in the Torah, written in our rabbis' books. We see that anger is very bad. His soul is going out of him. I want to ask you a question. We saw angry people in our life. By the way, Rabbi Chaim Palaji says that if someone is angry, don't look at his face. If you look in his face, you're going to get the impurity that he has on his face, because the Satan is on his face right now. The evil. And you get that energy. Don't look at him, he says. Until that stage, that level. Even not look at an angry person, it's not good. So I want to ask you a question. We just said that Kol hako'es ki'ilu oved avodah zara. So Kol hako'es nishmato mistaleket. Someone that is angry, his neshama going out of him. We saw a lot of people that got angry, and nothing happened. His neshama, his soul is still there. Did you see someone that gets angry and he dies? What does that mean that Chachamim telling us, if you are angry, your soul is coming out of you? Arizal explains that every person that does a good action, a mitzvah, if he does it completely, if he does it good, for example, someone likes his parents, and he's fulfilling the mitzvah of respecting his parents. His father says, give me a cup of tea. He's like very happy going, giving a cup of tea. It's a mitzvah from the Torah. One of the 10 commandments. We have it every day, huh? One of the 10 commandments. So, let's say he was doing this mitzvah like very good. His father was asking him something hard, and he said, no, I'm going to do this mitzvah, and he went and he did. You know what's happening to that person in that second? Chachamim tell us that rabbis in the history, every rabbi had a special thing, had a special mitzvah that he was doing. For example, Abraham, what was his specialty? Achnasat orchim, right. Chesed, it's kindness, but how he did that practically? By inviting guests. Right? Yeah, he had 4 doors to his house, and everyone was coming in, and even when he did a Brit Milah in the 3rd day, which is the most painful day, he went outside. It was very hard to find people. So this was his specialty. Chachamim tell us when someone does the mitzvah of bringing guests to his house, and he is doing it, he fulfills the mitzvah properly, according to all the details that it needs to be. He gave his soul to it. At that second, a spark of the soul of Avraham Avinu gets inside this person, and it combines together with your soul. So you get a spark of Avraham Avinu inside yourself. And then you wake up in the morning and you feel, wow, I'm powerful. Sometimes you see during the day, you just feel good. Or you feel that you have a lot of power to do things. You want to do good. A lot of time it's because a spark of a holy soul got inside you because you did a good action. Same thing is like we said, Kibud Orim. Who was great with Kibud Orim? Rabban Gamliel. Rabban Gamliel was one of the big rabbis in the time of the Talmud. He was respecting his father in a very high level. When you do the mitzvah of respecting your father and mother, even though it's hard, at that second you just can get a spark of Rabban Gamliel inside you, and other rabbis also. But then that's how your soul is growing. That's how it's easy for you to do mitzvot and things, because you have sparks of holy people inside yourself. You get a big energy. But what's happening, We're losing them. When do we lose them? When someone is getting angry, your wife just started to tell you something about yourself that you don't like, or your kids was doing balagan, mess all over, and you tell them clean and they say no. And you tell them clean, I'm your father, and he says no. And then you get angry at him. They don't listen to you. So then you start to scream and you get angry, and what happened? Avraham Avinu can't be here, bye-bye. All the powers of Gehenom is right here. Avraham Avinu goes to Gehenom, he goes to hell, he can't be in hell, so he goes out. Rabban Gamliel can't be in hell, so he goes out. So you lose all those good sparks in 1 second of anger. More than says the Arizal. You don't just lose his. Each one of us, we have 5 levels of soul. Nefesh, Ruach, Neshama, Haya, Yechidah. Nefesh located in the liver, Ruach located in the heart, Neshama located in the brain. Chaya is our aura. Yechidah is up there, in Shamayim, in heaven. All those parts is our parts. Certain parts of us, when we get angry, they go away. They go away, and then we have an emptiness inside ourselves. A part of soul is empty. We have an empty. Something is empty. So something has to come to fill it, right? Ruach Tuma, a bad spirit comes and filling the emptiness of the soul. And then you don't understand why people get crazy sometimes, What happened to him? He was a good guy. He got angry too much. He lost a big part of his soul. And a Ruach Tuma and a bad spirit came to him. And now we have to fix it. We will see how we're fixing it. But now we can understand what's happening. Why Chachamim tell us that anger is it's a terrible thing. It's a terrible thing. So this is angriness. So someone gets angry, he can lose his soul. Now I'll tell you more than that. We all want money, right? Parnasa. All the world is running for money. You wake up in the morning, you see $1, and you go. That's what people do. If you look deep, you wake up in the morning, what you looking for? You looking for happiness? Yes. But do you think happiness is money? Equals money. We give out our kids because of money. Yeah, we all do that. You go to work and you have things to do to get more money, so you don't pay attention to your kids. You don't sit with them and give them the love that they need, and to your wife, and to your husband. Yeah, so people like money. Okay, so how we make money? Very simple. We don't need to make money. HaKadosh Baruch Hu created us in the world, so He has to give us the money. So He gives the money. Each one of us was born with a certain amount. Every Rosh Hashanah, we have a deen, we have a judgment, how much money we're going to have every month. But what's happening? And usually this is enough to live. But then comes the anger. Every part of soul that we have has a mazal. Mazal is a luck. Oh, yeah, this is the luck of that soul. Mazal means the shefa, the energy. How much money this part of soul is gonna have. How much health. How much everything each one of our parts of soul has. What happens when we lose one of the parts of our soul? It goes away. So then we give away our parnasa. We give away our money. Who gets it? You know, if you study physics, there is a law, a very interesting law. I studied it when I was grade 7, I remember. And then I saw it in the Torah. There is a law in physics that says, it's called Chok Shimur Masa Ve'energia in Hebrew. So the massa and energy, is never disappears. It goes from one place to another place, but it cannot disappear. Like if someone loses energy, it goes to someone else. Transfers, right. So this is what happens. Our neshama, someone gets angry, a part of his soul, it depends on the anger, right? There is levels to anger. There's someone that's like angry inside but doesn't say anything. There's someone that is, you can see it on his face. There's someone that can say something. There's someone that can curse. And then someone that can break something. This is the highest level, So it depends on the level of anger you get. A part of the soul goes out of you. Cannot stay there anymore. And then it goes away to someone else. To who? Someone that deserves it. Usually an anju. An anju that does a good action, a good thing, and he deserves to get your part of neshama, and then he becomes rich. And then he becomes rich. Because the Zohar is asking that if we think logically, non-Jews can't be rich. Why? I'll explain you why. The money that you get depends on your neshama. If you have a big neshama, neshama is a soul, If you have a big soul, so you're going to have a lot of money. That's why it's good to respect people that have money. It means they have a big potential of soul. Now, if someone has a big soul, big potential of soul, could be that he doesn't use it right, but he has a big potential of soul, he's going to have a lot of money. Someone that has a small potential of soul, he's not going to have a lot of money. Now, Am Yisrael, we all came from a very high place. Our souls is huge. If we compare ourselves to the non-Jews, we are, just imagine to yourself, we have 613 mitzvot, they have 7. It's a big difference. Our obligation and their obligation. Why? They have a small soul, they're not, Kadosh Baruch Hu doesn't expect from them as he expects from us. We have a big soul, we can do 613. They can do only 7. So we have when this is the difference between a goy and a Jew and a non-Jew. Now, so according to that, they have a small soul, so they're not gonna have. They don't need to have money. So how do they have money? We see rich goyim. They have billions sometimes. Baruch Hashem, we have also rich Yehudim, Jews that are very rich. We see here and in other places. So Rabbi Chaim Vital in the Zohar, he explains the Zohar and he says like this. He says, what happened? Jews that are losing their neshamot, they're losing their souls because of anger or other sins that they do, and a non-Jew got it, so he became rich. So basically all the rich non-Jews in the world, if you look according to Kabbalah, it's because of the sins of Jews. 100%. This is what the Zohar says. So what happens? How do I take it back? How do I take it back? When you do tshuva, when you understand, okay, wow, I was angry. I did something bad to my wife. I was screaming at her. I was talking nice to my kids, to my husband. And then you say, okay, you know what? I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm not going to do it again. Hashem, I want to work on myself. When you do that, Hashem says, okay, now you want to get your soul back? No problem. But a guy got it. You have to get it. You have to get it from him. So what are you going to do? He's going to make you doing business with that person. He's going to make you come in contact with this person. And then somehow by doing it properly, you don't lie, you do it good, you do a mitzvah, you make a bracha, a blessing, he sells you tomatoes, or he sells you something, and those things has your sparks inside, and you make a blessing on it and you bring it back to yourself. You make a business, you take his money back, and with this you get your soul back. This is the ways that how Hashem is doing in the world. We're not going to go deep inside that, but just in general idea to understand what's happening.
By just going back a bit, why do you associate the Shama with the liver? I mean, I'm just trying to understand.
Neshama, we have few parts
Why
of
liver?
soul. Every part has a different tafkid, rule. Yeah. For example, the liver, the lowest part of soul is located in the liver.
Clean the blood is important.
This lowest part of soul is in charge of eating, sleeping, all the daily thing, the routine that we have. This is in charge of that. That's why it's in the liver. Why? Because it's not really in the liver, it's in the blood. But the source of blood, where is it? In the liver. Yeah? By the way, you can see it very easily. Sometimes, I don't know if it happened to you, sometimes you sleep on your hand. Yeah, you sleep and you sleep on the hand. And then, because all your body is press the hand, so blood doesn't come in. And then you wake up in the morning and you don't feel this, you don't feel it. It's numb. Now, if someone, scientifically, if someone go chas v'shalom and cut your hand at that second, you're not going to feel it. Why? There's no blood. How do we feel? Someone does this to me. Why I feel? Why do I feel? There is blood here, and the blood is going here and says, hey, listen, he just hit you. Right? That's what he does. If I'm not going to feel it, I'm not going to...
It's like anesthesia.
Right. Okay. So, this is just to understand a little bit in a deeper understanding what anger does to us. We lose our parnasa, our money, our health. We lose a part of our soul. And more than that, we see that usually from anger a lot of bad things happens. Okay, but you say, okay, fine, Rabbi, I want. You don't have to convince me to not be angry. I know that to be angry it's not good, but how I do that? When it comes, you... So, here we come to the other part, which is the advices. What can we do to avoid this? So, there is a book in Kabbalah called Sefer Yetzirah. This book is very old. It was written originally by Avraham Avinu. This book is a book of astrology, a book that talks about the letters and the energy of every letter. The book that talks about the months. Every month has a special sign, like we know the zodiac. So, and then he explains every month and every letter of a person and every organ in our bodies, what it does and what energy it brings. So, the anger is symbolized in Sefer Yetzirah, in that book of Avraham Avinu, is symbolized with the letter Ayin. It means that every person that has the letter Ayin in his name, he is gonna be a little bit more angry than someone that doesn't have the letter Ayin. It doesn't mean that the letter Ayin is bad. Every letter has a specialty. But the letter Ayin, and you can see Kas, the middle of that word is Ayin. So the letter Ayin has a special power, that the person that has it in his name, and people call him all the time at that name, he's going to have more challenges in being angry or not. This is one. Now why I'm telling it to you, because if you have an Ayin and you see that you're very angry, so it's okay, this is how you was built, We have to work on it, but it's gonna be more challenging for you. Another thing is that the Kas, according to Kabbalah, the anger, he is connected to a month which is the month of Tevet. Tevet usually it's January, right? End of December and until the middle of January usually. But the month of Tevet, if you look at your Jewish, and everything goes by the Jewish birthday. That's why each one of us has to know his Jewish birthday if we want to know ourselves. If you were born in Tevet, so you're going to have more anger than usual people. Now more than that, not just if you were born in Tevet, even if you're not born in Tevet, but now is Tevet, you're going to see the feeling of angriness is more in the air. It's going to be, before the Xmas, right? So you see, why am I telling you that again? To understand and to know, okay, if you are located at that time, or you were born at that time, and you have that letter, you have to understand, okay, fine, so it's more challenging for me, I have to work on that more. And if it's happened to me, okay, I understand that this is how I built. You get it, you accept it more, it's easier to accept. So this is one. But from here we see that we said that we talked about the month Tevet, we talked about the letter. Avraham Avinu continues and says in Sefer Yetzirah, and the organ in our body that is connected to the anger is the liver. And we can understand that because it's blood, it's...
That's why people get angry when they drink alcohol.
Yes, right.
This is could work together.
I just thought about it.
And they get cirrhosis.
Okay, so now we know that the liver. Now, but the Gemara in Masechet Brachot says another thing. The Gemara in Masechet Brachot says that the liver is in charge of the anger. But there is another place in our body that is in charge of the anger, and we can see it from the Torah, which is the nose. You can see the ox, when he's angry, what he's doing? There's like...
Nostrils wide.
There's air coming out of his nose. So you see, the nose is in charge of anger also. And we can see it in Torah. When it says in the Torah that Kivyachol, not... Hashem doesn't have those things, but we describe Hashem with those things. When it says, when Hashem is angry, so it doesn't say Kas, Vaichas. No, it says Vaichar Af Hashem. And his nose was Vaichar Af Hashem, that something with the nose. This is what's called anger in Torah. Nose. The nose got shorter, got squeezed. When the nose is squeezed, you see when someone is angry, his nose is squeezed, right? That's what you said. This is angriness. So when the Torah says Vaichar Af Hashem, V'chara Af Hashem b'hem, so Hashem got angry on them, the Torah says his nose got Kivyachol. It doesn't have a nose, but this is how we describe it. So now we see that the nose is in charge of the anger also. From here, we can understand how to fight the anger easily. The nose has a special... What we do with the nose? We do two things. We breathe and we smell. Rabbi Chaim Moshe Luzzatto has a book, Adir Bamarom. He says there that that's how you fight anger. Neshima in Hebrew is to breathe. Neshima and neshama is same letters. Neshama is soul, neshima is breathe. Why is that the same letters? There is a reason why. Because when we breathe, our soul feels good. By the way, all the problems of the people in the world coming because of our body. Our body wants to do bad. Wants to get angry, wants to steal, wants to kill, wants to do... This is the desires of the body. The body is like an animal. The soul is very high, is very fixed. What happens When someone is not spiritual at all and is very physical, usually he's going to be a very bad guy. Why? Spirituality is goodness. Physical is like thinking about yourself. Materialism. And that's why when we want to be good, we have somehow to wake up our soul. How do we wake up our soul? One of the things is to breathe. That's why when you feel not good or something like that, they tell you, take a deep breath. What does that do? It wakes up the soul, and when the soul wakes up, it heals everything to a certain level, to a certain stage. There is a medicine, there's doctors today, they have clinics, and they talking only about right way of breathing. You can heal things by breathing. This is what the Torah says. Why? When you breathe properly, the soul gets power and heals the body. You get more spiritual. You get more calm.
It's like exercise.
When someone doesn't breathe properly, he's gonna be very angry. You can look at yourself. People that are very calm, usually they have deep breaths. They breathe very slow. People that they breathe very fast, they go to anger very fast. People, short breath, right. People that have a long one, a deep one, and slow, those people are very calm. Now we can be like that. We just have to work on it. So first of all, a person has to understand, if you want to calm yourself, you have to wake up your soul by breathing. Someone comes home, and usually the time that we have the problems of anger is at home. You come home, my advice to you guys,
Take a deep breath.
before you get in, take a deep breath. It's going to help you. This is going to help you. Get all what you had before. Forget about that. Get a new air, a new life, and get in. You're going to see it's going to be a whole different day, whole different night. And this is very important. For women, the kids coming home, before they get in, take a big, deep breath. This is important. We don't understand how much is important. And when we do that, we're going to feel better. We're going to wake up our soul, and we're going to be less angry. This is one. Second thing, our rabbi says that dinim is judgments. Most of the judgments, they are located in the nose. So what happens when somebody's breathe? Take a breath. He's giving wind to all the judgments inside.
It's a total.
And he's relaxing the judgments. This is very good. Not just when you don't want to be angry. Any case in your life that you feel there's too pressure on me. I feel I don't know what to do. I'm very confused, I'm stressed, I have anxiety, whatever you have. If you're gonna take breath, 1, 2, 3, 4, you're gonna see it's gonna just calm you down, and you see the judgment is gonna go away. Another thing is to smell. Harizal says when you take our mothers, grandmothers, always, I remember in my house, at my grandmother's house, always on the table, something to smell. Either a nana, a mint, or a basil, or a myrtle, hadas,
Flowers.
something to smell. Why? When you feel a lot of judgments on you, Rabbeinu Arizal says, take something, make a bracha on it. Baruch atah Hashem Elokeinu melech haolam borei minei besamim, borei atzei besamim. Depends on the thing. Take a smell, all the judgments with this good aroma is going to go out.
You want flour?
Even a flower.
Flowers bore ase.
Yeah.
If you're not sure.
You can even take a perfume, which is a good perfume, not a fake one, you know. Good perfume, and you can make a blessing on it. Borei minei besamim. But smell something that is good, you're gonna feel different. It's gonna help you with the anger. I'm telling you. Someone is doing something to you. Your kids, your wife, your boss, someone in the street. You drive, and someone just cut you somehow, and you say, "Who is this guy?" You know, you get angry on him. 1 second, stop, and get a big, deep breath, or something to smell. You're gonna see everything is gonna go away. This is one advice. Another thing. Now, by the way, this Sgula, Arizal says that when you feel a lot of problems happening to you, you know, sometimes problem after a problem after a problem, you know, things going not in the right way, and you don't know what to do. Arizal says you wanna flip everything over, take something, bless, bracha, but do it properly. Baruch Ata Hashem, bemet. And smell it, you're gonna see everything is gonna change. I did it a lot of times. A lot of people in our generation, they have problems with peace at home. No shalom bayit. He is throwing on her, I don't know, the shoes, and she's throwing on him. This has happens, yeah. And they scream, and he says, "You are like this," and she's like that. What we do? Oh, you tell her 1 second. Well, 1 second. You want to scream at me? No problem. Just give me something to smell, and then we'll talk. Okay?
Don't smell each other.
This helps. This is one. Another thing is, when the Torah wants to describe us, the mercy of Hashem, the Torah says a pasuk like this. There is Vayichar Af Hashem, when Hashem is like angry. So the Vayichar Af is that the nose is shorter, gets short. It's anger. ואז יש ערך אפיים. ויעריך אפו. When the nose is long, not like Pinocchio, long physically, right? Long means time. Time makes you less angry. What does that mean? When something happens to you, hold yourself. Says, you know what? I'm going to be angry in 10 minutes, not now. I'm going to give him back in 10 minutes, not now. Your wife tells you something? Okay, I'll answer her in 10 minutes. You're going to see, it's going to go away. We have to understand that times heals. There was one rabbi, big rabbi. You know what he did? He bought a suit. He called it an anger suit. When he wants to be angry, he has to wear the suit. Like, he can't be angry without that suit. This was the suit. Why did he do that? Because, okay, I want to get angry. Okay, where's the suit? He's going to pick up and then it's going to go away. It's going to go away. If we would understand to let it, at that second that it happens, say, you know, because to not be angry is very hard. You want to be. But tell to yourself, I will be. Just in a few minutes. In a few minutes. And this is a big, big, big advice that our rabbis tell us. In anything in life. Because our Yetzer Hara, our evil inclination would not give us just to not answer. We are not at that level yet. That someone does something bad to us and we'll forgive like this. Oh, I love you. No. We should be like this. We should be like this. But it's very hard. We have to love, and every Jew in the world, this is a mitzvah from the Torah, doesn't matter what he does. Doesn't matter what he does. I just heard a terrible story yesterday. I have to tell it. One of the rabbis from New York came to my community this Shabbat, and he gave a Shabbaton we did. And he said that he heard this story from his sister, which is the neighbor of this guy that I'm going to tell you the story about him. This is a Rosh Yeshiva in Or Yehuda. He lives in Bnei Brak, but he's a Rosh Yeshiva in Or Yehuda. And this guy, his wife was waiting for his children to come out of the bus, which brings them out from the yeshiva, and she was waiting for them to accepting her children. You know that the Gemara says in Masechet Brachot that the reward of the women, the best reward of the women in Olam Haba, is when she is going to accept her children and her husband after going learning Torah with a smile. This is her reward. It's very easy to do that, right? So she was going to the bus to meet them, and she had few children, and one of them, he was the last boy in the bus, and he, you know, the bus in Israel has stairs. So we went in the stairs, and then the driver, I don't know, maybe he was in a rush, or he thought that he's already down, so he closed the doors on his leg, and then he drive, and then everyone started to scream, hey! And the boy felt inside, and because they screamed, he thought that someone forgot something. So he went back and he killed the guy. He killed the guy. And this has happened in Bnei Brak.
When did this happen?
A few years ago. The driver is a religious guy. He couldn't go to the Shiva. He couldn't show his face there. What can he do? You know, imagine to yourself, well, to leave like that, you know, the person passed away. But to leave like that with an idea that you did such a thing, it's terrible. After the Shiva, a day after the Shiva, he hears someone knocking on his door. He didn't go. He couldn't go. Who is that? The father. He's knocking on his door. And he opened the door and he see him, and he doesn't know where to bury himself. And he asked him, why don't you come to work? Why you don't drive the kids anymore? So he says, I'm done with the driver. I'm not gonna do it anymore. I can't. He says, no, you're gonna do that. You're gonna continue being the driver. You can't lose your job. You have family and kids. And he said, but I can't. Psychologically, I can't. What I did to you, I even cannot. I don't know how I'm looking at your face. He says, everything is okay. It's Hashem's plan. This is Hashem's plan. And he said, but I lost my confidence. So he was a big psychologist, this guy, this rabbi. He was sitting with him in the bus and giving him a chizuk in emunah, in faith, and told him that, listen, everything is from HaKadosh Baruch Hu, and you did whatever you could do. And he continued to being the driver. But we see, I don't know, Chas v'shalom, but each of us, I don't know how we would react to such a but we see that every Jew, in the end of the day, is our brother. Is our brother, and we have to understand that we have to love him. Because nobody does something usually because he hates you or something like that. So when something happens like that, and you want to be angry at someone did something bad to you, we have to understand, not now. Give it a time. ויאריך אפו. This is one. Another thing. There's few advices according to segula to the spiritual aspect, that I don't know how to explain it to you, but it works. One of them is like this. When someone is laughing, you know, some people, they laugh and they can't stop laugh. They laugh and they giggle. Yeah, they're laughing and laughing. Sometimes it's not comfortable. You sit in a very serious meeting or something like that, and something happened, and you want to laugh, you don't know what to do. So Rabbi Chaim Palaji tells you there is a way to stop laughing. What you do, and check it. Right away, look at your nails. You're going to stop laughing. Now, don't try like this. No. This is not going to work. I'm saying you laughing now, and right away you're gonna see everything comes down. You don't want to laugh. Works. Now, what's that? How does that work? Like, why? If I look at my leg, it's gonna work also? No, just the nails. Why? Our rabbi tells us when Adam Arishon, the first person in the world, Adam and Hava, when he was created, all his body, he was spiritual, but his body was very close to what we have nails today. The nails is it's a big source of energy and light. This is the leftover of what Adam was before the sin, which is very holy. By the way, this is what we have to do Netilat Yadayim all the time. Why we do Netilat Yadayim? In the word, they want to suck holiness from us. Where is the holiness located? In the nails, because it's from that, this is the leftover from the holiness of Adam Arishon. Right, so that's why we wash it all the time to get it out. They're not gonna suck the energy from your body, it's always gonna be from the nails. So, that's why when we grow the nails too much, especially men, it's not good because we give them a place to take. So, nails is a serious thing. Adam Arishon was his body was like nails. He sinned, he did an animal thing, and he became with the leather like an animal, what we have now. But we have a leftover. Something is still stayed. We have it still from Adam Arishon, the nails, which has a lot of holiness inside them. But what happened when someone looks at the nails? In our subconscious mind, right away, our mind remembers the sin. And when you remember the sin, you don't want to laugh. Trust me. Because this is what gave Mavet, is death to the world. This is what caused all the suffering of the women, labor and pregnancy and the period and all the things, and the men that we have to work very hard and do things. This is because of the sin. So when you look at the nails, you right away, your subconscious mind remembers the sin, doesn't want to laugh. You just stop. You don't understand why, but this is why. Same thing happens, not just when you laugh, it's also when you're angry. When you're angry and you look at your nails, the subconscious mind remember Adam Arishon before his sin, in the sin. And at that time there was no angry in the world. It was very holy. And that's why your body, because of the subconscious mind, gets to a mood of, okay, stop being angry. This is not the time. It's like a reset, kind of. You know, you have a reset in your computer. When it doesn't work good, you do like that, and Baruch Hashem. Same thing is with your body. You want to reset, look at your nails. This is another thing.
I'll still give it to you, man.
I look at you and I get ego.
Have you tried it out? Have you tried it out?
Of course, we do it all the time.
That's what he's talking about.
Another thing is, we have to know that being angry as we said, it's not good. It's worse to being angry at night than being angry at day. That's what Sefer Hasidim, Rabbi Yehuda Hasid says 900 years ago. That being angry at night, its influence and it affects the person badly more than during the day. So you can use this as a excuse. Someone is making you like driving you nuts or something during the night. So you say, okay, I can't just be angry at night, so tomorrow I will be angry at you, okay? Rabbi Yehuda Hasid says it's not good at night. But this is maybe will give us a little bit of power, because usually nighttime is going to be more challenging. Day is a time of chesed. Chesed is kindness. People are more kind. At night, all the problems is coming up.
Because the Satan comes out.
And I'll tell you more than that. There is one day during the week, which is Friday, after midday, after 12 o'clock. This is the most dangerous time because the Chachamim say, our rabbis say, that the evil, this is all his job at that time, until Shabbat comes in, is to make problems between people and make them angry one on the other. Machlokot, arguments, especially in the house. That's why the Ben Ish Chai says it's very important to clean all the. We said it once, and I remember when I gave you a lecture last time, to clean the akavishim. How you say the spider's nets? Yeah, the net. How you call them?
Cobwebs.
Cobnets? Cobwebs, yeah. The cobwebs. Before Shabbat. Why? This is cause a lot of judgments, a lot of things at home. You have to take them out. Especially before Friday. Friday? Wow, Friday is, everyone is like, Shabbat is coming, you know? And a lot of arguments can come out of this. On Friday you have to take more breathe. You have to breathe more than in a regular day. Smell good things on Friday after midday. It's very important. Be very, very, very careful to not get to an argument. Doesn't matter what your husband says. Say, okay, fine, it's Friday. I don't want to get to the because if it's gonna start, it's gonna be a big, big bomb. Friday is dangerous. By the way, this is one of the reasons, Friday and Saturday. One of the reasons we light candles on Shabbat. This is why, the Gemara says why we light candles on Shabbat, because of Shalom Bayit, because of peace at home. The candles, they have a power to do peace at home. That's why it's very important to light the candles properly in the time, not after the time. At the time. Our rabbi says that it's a zgula to have a good kids. Each one of us want his kids to go in a proper way. They say that if someone is very careful with the mitzvah of lighting the candles on Shabbat, her kids is going to be smart and good. That's what's going to happen to them. What means to do it properly? At the time when you wear the Shabbat clothes, not with all the ketchup and the mustards and all that, and your hair is like half like that. No, you get dressed for Shabbat, and your husband, he is getting the candles ready, because this is the Ben Ish Chai says the man has to get it ready. He has to put the oil or whatever, the candles, and she's gonna light them. Yeah, it's not a must, but it's a good thing to do. So then you're gonna have a good kids, B'ezrat Hashem. Aval, we need peace at home. How we do peace at home? As we said, no anger. We have to be very careful on Shabbat and Yom Shishi and Friday. Another thing is, there was one lady that asked Rabbi Milubavitch, the rabbi from Chabad. She asked him. She said, "Listen, I'm very angry women. All the time, anything just can cause me an anger. What can I do, Rabbi?" So he didn't give her all the advices that I'm giving you now, but he gave her one that I want to give you also, tell you and share with you. He told her, every time that you get angry at someone, make sure that you ask for forgiveness after. So you're going to ask for forgiveness. Every time. Except on yourself, every time you get angry at someone, you ask for forgiveness. So she said, okay, fine. I'll ask for forgiveness, but it's not going to help it with the next anger. It's going to solve the anger that was. Now he's not mad at me. But it's not going to help me with the other anger. He said, this is not true. Why? Look at psychologically how our body works. Rabbi Milubavitch says, when you ask for forgiveness, you don't want to do it. Who wants to go and says, I'm guilty, I'm sorry? Nobody wants. Our normal body that hates it. Some people, they even can't do that. You know, there's some couples, Baruch Hashem, in my shul, a lot of people coming to me to help them with Shalom Bayit, with peace at home. Sometimes they face families that the lady or the gentleman, the husband, never asked her and said for forgiveness. Never. He can't. He's too proud. He has ego. Or she has ego. It's not good. Someone like that cannot be close to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. You have to understand, if you have that, you're very far away from Hashem. If you have that thing in you, you're very far away from being a spiritual person. Because ego is the opposite of all what Hashem wants. Hashem wants humbleness. But you see, someone that asks for forgiveness, it's very hard. To everyone. Your body, after you ask for forgiveness, he would right away fight, so you're not going to get to this scene again. So if you accept on yourself to ask for forgiveness every time you do something to someone, your body automatically will help you to not get angry next time, because it doesn't want to say sorry. This is how it works. So if you know in yourself that you're like this, accept that. Says, doesn't matter, I'll be angry. But after every time I'm angry, I'm going to go and say sorry. I'm going to say, please forgive me. Every time. And you're going to see, 1 month, 2 months, no anger anymore. It's not, לא משתלם. So this is another thing. Another advice, this is for men. By the way, sorry, very similar to this, what we said now, we can do with money. It's very hard to take money out of your pocket and give it to someone, right? So you can do and say like this. I once did it with my father. My mother didn't like that my father is smoking. It was a long time. I was like 5 years old, 6 years old. And then she was telling him, okay, you know what? Every time Israel, it's me, is going to cut you with cigarette, you're going to give him 5 shekels. I like the idea. This is a way to be rich. And we said, okay.
Did you save money?
At that year I had, it was the best year in my life. I had a lot of money. I had a lot of money.
Like 25 shekels today.
Sometimes he made deals. He says, listen, 3 cigarettes, I'll give you 10.
50%
But this works. When you see that too much money coming out of your pocket, you say, listen, I don't want. Lo mishtalem, it's not worth. if you're gonna accept on yourself a border like that, if I'm angry, not 5 shekels, $100 to tzedakah. Every time I'm angry, take your wife, take your kid, your two. Every time I'm angry, $500. You don't need your wife. HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Hashem, every time I'm getting angry, $100 to tzedakah. I'm telling you, after 3 times, you automatically your body would not give it to you to be angry. But this is how to educate ourselves. But there's something easier. In the parasha of Beshalach, what's the time? Sorry, I don't have.
17.
Until what time we have? Till the morning.
Your call. Your call.
Okay. There's another thing that happening here after I'm going.
Refreshment.
Okay, good. So there's a parasha in Torah called Parashat Beshalach. Beshalach is when Paro sent us out from Egypt. Comes Moshe Rabbeinu after 3 days, and they face the sea, Yam Suf, the Red Sea, and then they see the Egyptians, they're running after them. There's desert from 2 sides. They don't know what to do. We all know the story. We say it in Pesach. And then the sea opens. But this is what we know. But there was a big argument before the sea opened.
They wanted to storm it, no?
There was an argument because the sea didn't want to open. He said, I had an agreement with HaKadosh Baruch Hu in the 6th day of creation that I have my routine. I have a wave, go up, go down. HaKadosh Baruch Hu doesn't allow the sea to do whatever he wants. Sometimes, once in a while, it does a tsunami, HaKadosh Baruch Hu give him, take one time. But usually, he's not allowed, there's an agreement. Now here he wants the sea to change the agreement and to open. So comes the sea. When I'm saying the sea, it's not really the sea, it's the angel that is in charge of the sea, because everything in the world has an angel that is in charge of it. Now Moshe Rabbeinu in his high spiritual level has a discussion with the angel of the sea and says, hello, Am Israel, we have to go. Open. The sea says, listen, I have an agreement, what you want? So then, what he did, we say it in Tehillim in Hallel. Ra'a hayam vayanos. The sea saw and went back. What did the sea saw that he went back? Says the Midrash, Ra'a arono shel Yosef. He saw the coffin of Yosef. Yosef passed away in Egypt. And he lived 110 years. He passed away in Egypt, and he told them, listen, after I die, you swear to me that you take me to Eretz Israel and you bury me in Eretz Israel, in Israel. So Moshe Rabbeinu was a long time after that. So when they needed to go out of Egypt, Olam Israel, HaKadosh Baruch Hu gave them the permission to take money from the Egyptians, to borrow money. They didn't give them back after that, but they borrowed their money, and it wasn't a permission of Hashem. They borrowed the money, and that's how they became very rich. And Moshe Rabbeinu, he also needed to go borrow money, but he says, no, but 1 second, we have to take Yosef. So he says, forget about the money. Money is not important. Yosef, we swear to Yosef, I'm going to look for Yosef, but he didn't know where is he, because the Egyptians put them somewhere because he was a king of Egypt. So he went to Serach, which was the daughter of Asher, which was the son of Yaakov, the granddaughter of Yaakov Avinu, which she lived until that time. She got a blessing for her father that she's going to live a long time. Serach. So he went to her. She was a zakena. She was an old lady. He says, "Where is the Aron of Yosef? Where is the coffin of Yosef?" So she said, you know what they did? Because Yosef was such a great person, and the Nile is, for Egyptians, Nile is their god. It's like everything. If the Nile doesn't have more water, so everything is no food. So they put his coffin
Yes, Papa.
inside the Nile, so they thought it's going to blast the Nile. So now Moshe Rabbeinu says, oh God, what am I going to do now? I'm going to swim in the whole Nile to find the... So, Baruch Hashem, he knew Kabbalah. He wrote a name in a leather, and he threw the name to the Nile and says, Yosef, come now or we're going. so Yosef came, and you see the coffin came up, and then he took, and then they showed the sea, the coffin, and the sea says, okay, that's it, I'm open. Before that he was arguing, no, I have an agreement, He saw that. He saw Yosef, opens. Why? Tell us Chachamim, when Yosef was 17 years old, he was sold to the Arabs, that they sold him to the Egyptians. And Potiphar bought him as a slave in his house, an 17 years old boy. You know, at that age, you are all hot. He never saw a girl, like he never had a girlfriend in his life. And now comes the Eshet Potiphar, this lady which was described as a very super beautiful lady, the wife of Potiphar, his boss. And they went to do their things, and a whole year, she was every day changing her clothes and doing things, and she wanted to attract him. And Yosef is a tzaddik, doesn't look. But he won a whole year, and then after a year, they went out for a few days to do the Avodah Zarah. They had the Xmas party. Santa Claus came, so they all have to meet him. So then she said, okay, I'm not feeling well, I want to stay at home at that. Okay, she stayed at home with Yosef, and he trusted Yosef. He knew he's a tzaddik, he's a Jew. And then, we all know the story, she was forcing him, and then she was holding his jacket. ותתפסהו בבגדו. And then it says, ויאנוס החוצה, and he ran away outside because he saw he can't anymore. If he's gonna stay there, that's it, I'm not a tzaddik anymore. So he left her jacket in her hands, his jacket in her hands, and he left outside. Which is also, by the way, a big zegula, a big thing to avoid anger. When you feel that you're angry, go outside.
Yeah.
Just go outside, see the nature. Do you know why HaKadosh Baruch Hu created that the nature is green? Why did Hashem do that? Imagine to yourself that grass was black. Do you know what would happen in the world? Imagine it was red. Everything is red. Do you know that I have a whole, in Hebrew, I have a whole session, I was talking about colors. How colors affect ourselves, what you wear. And why HaKadosh Baruch Hu did different colors in different places. Why the sea is blue, which is not really blue, but looks like blue. Yeah. And the sky is also not blue, but it looks like blue. Which is teaching us that the whole world is a whole big lie, right? Aval, HaKadosh Baruch Hu did it by purpose that the world is green. The outside, you go outside, green is power of mercy. When you see green, if you're going to have a green house, but a green like outside, yeah? You're going to be more calm. It calms you down. This is a big secret.
What if you wear a green color?
It depends what green. By the way, Do you know, Rabbi Moshe Cordovero, 500 years ago, he says, do you know why the Muslims has green in their leg? In their flag, sorry, their flag. You know why? Because the Muslims, they are so aggressive. Hashem wants to cool them down. And that's why they like green. Why? Because they need it. If they would not have it, Hashem Yishmor, what would happen in the world? And I lived with Arabs, where I lived in Carmiel in Israel. We were all surrounded, they like the green color. Houses, they do it in green. They print in green. Why? Something inside themselves, they know if they would not have this green, they would be extra aggressive, they will kill everyone. They're already killing everyone. But if not green, wow, Bechlal.
A flag shell ISIS. It's of black color. It's black color. There is no green in it.
Oh, so that's what happens, you know? When there's Muslims without green, it's ISIS. So he went outside. Yosef HaTzadik went outside. Okay, so he went outside. The Gemara says, this 18 years old boy had a power to go and run away from this. Wow. It's a big power. Nobody see you. He went outside, ran away. The sea saw Yosef and said, as he ran away, I'm gonna run away. He break the nature, I'm gonna break the nature. Our rabbi says from here, we can study a big thing. What was that jacket? Rabbi Eliyahu Cohen from Turkey says, 350 years ago, he had a tzitzit. It was not a jacket. Why? He said that Eshet Potifar, this lady, didn't understand how come an 18 years old boy, I'm trying and I'm a beautiful lady. And he's like, nothing works on him. So she saw that he has like weird strings with blue. She thought this is something like black magic. Protects him. So she said, maybe it's that, I'm gonna take it out of you. And she took it out. When Yosef saw, I don't have a tzitzit, I can't stay here anymore, I'm going outside. Why? Because tzitzit keeps you from adultery, from sinning. But the tzitzit has another thing. Yeah? Every woman should buy a tzitzit for her husband. She's gonna be protected, everything is gonna be okay. Yeah, but tzitzit, go, you can go, come away, whenever. Just don't take it out. Okay? Huh?
You should have told us it's long back.
Yeah?
Never too late.
No, this is a joke. But you check that the tzitzit is good, if someone did it properly and everything. Anyways, there's another thing, Abotai. The tzitzit has 4 corners. It's called in Hebrew kanaf. Tzitzit kanaf betil techelet. Vaya lachem letzitzit. Kanaf. So 4 kanafot, kanaf. Kanaf, if we're gonna say, the numerical value of the word kanaf is chaf, which is 20. Nun is 50. Pei is 80. So it's gonna be together 150. 150 is the same numerical value as ka'as, anger. And there's a reason why. Because the tzitzit, when you look at that, it's going to calm you down from anger. This is something that only the man has. You get a tzitzit, it not just protects you, extra aura, good energy, protects you for chas v'shalom sinning, also anger. You look at that, helps you to calm yourself. Check it. It's working. It's working beautiful. So this is tzitzit. But there's another thing.
In the weddings, the bride gives the groom.
It's tzitzit, right? Why? Don't be angry at home, huh?
Yeah, that's how we think. In India we say.
Makes sense.
Funny, yeah, we never knew why.
Now the reason is really because he has to say a bracha of she'echiyanu, that he's happy that he got to this. So there is an argument if it's okay to say a she'echiyanu on the new wife. So to be sure, we take a new tzitzit, so this is for sure we have to say she'echiyanu on it. So we say, but this is maybe another reason what you're saying now. Because this is the most important thing in a marriage. To be calm. Rabbi Moshe ben Nachman said, if you want to, by the way, we shooting this class, and Bezrat Hashem B'nei I'll send it to one of you, because it's whatever I'm saying here now is very important to go over and over and over, because we're gonna forget. But at least another one time. But the Ramban says something very important. He says, he wrote, before he passed away, he wrote a letter to his son. Igeret HaRamban. It's something very known. It's written in every siddur. And he told him, read it every day. And even we're not his sons, but we read it some people read it every day. And the first sentences there, he says that if you want to stay away from anger, you have to speak quiet. Don't speak very loud. People that normally raise their voice in the daily life, they come into anger easily. And people that are not, they're always quiet. You want to say something? Say it quiet. Why you have to raise your voice? Say it quiet. And you're gonna see, it's gonna avoid you. You're not gonna get to that place of anger.
He talks about not even looking at the person straight in the eye also.
No, he gives another things there, another advices to other things. But he says, when you speak quiet, you're not gonna be angry. And he says, and you have to do that because anger is very, very bad. He tells it to his son. And you stay away from it. It's very important. And I want to tell you the last thing for today. That anger is really an illusion. It's an illusion. It's one big illusion. Because usually after a while you look at yourself and you say, what did I do? It was not so bad. I was wrong. And this is, we have to understand that this world, the Zohar called this world Alma de Shikra, the world of lie. There's a very interesting sentence in the Talmud that says like this, the following. It says, Tchelet dome layam, v'yam dome larakia, v'arakia hu dome lekisei hakavod. The light blue color is similar to the sea, and the sea is similar, looks like the sky, and the sky looks like the kisei hakavod, the chair of
Throne.
the throne, which is the Kiviyachol Akadosh Baruch Hu's place. So it means that we used to have a light blue color in the tzitzit. So when you look at that, it reminds you the sea, and then it reminds you the sky, and then it reminds you that Hashem is in the world. Okay. Comes the Chachamim and ask, what's that all about? Why do I need all this? This is similar to that. Looks like that. Tell me that the light blue looks like the Kisei HaKavod, like Hashem's chair. Kiviyachol. So he says no. Hashem wants to tell you something here. He tells you, look, light blue looks like the sea.